At Lincoln High School, life went on just like in many other schools across the country. The students rushed from class to class, teachers taught their lessons, and the hallways buzzed with chatter, laughter, and the occasional sound of lockers slamming shut. But among all the noise and activity, there was one person who rarely drew any attention. She was always there, moving quietly and carefully, but few people really noticed her. Her name was Gloria Richardson, and she worked as a janitor at the school. Gloria was a middle-aged black woman who had been working at Lincoln High for many years. She was always dressed in her janitor's uniform, which was a simple blue jumpsuit that never seemed to get dirty no matter how hard she worked. Her hair was pulled back tightly, and she wore a pair of old glasses that sometimes slid down her nose. Her face was calm and kind, but also very quiet. Most people saw her as just the janitor, someone who cleaned up after the students and teachers, making sure everything was neat and tidy. Every morning before the students arrived, Gloria was already at work. She would mop the floors, clean the bathrooms, empty the trash cans, and wipe down the desks. Her hands moved quickly and skillfully, as if she knew exactly what to do without needing to think too much. She did her job well and took pride in keeping the school clean and comfortable for everyone. But even though she worked hard every day, she never asked for attention or praise. To her, being a janitor was just her job, a way to support herself and keep going. What most people didn't know about Gloria was that there was much more to her than met the eye. Behind her quiet smile and steady work, she carried a secret that she kept hidden from everyone. She loved mathematics. From the simplest numbers to the most complicated equations, Gloria had always been fascinated by math. It was something that made her feel alive, something she enjoyed learning and solving on her own. When she was younger, Gloria had dreamed of becoming a mathematician or a teacher, someone who could help others understand the beauty of numbers and formulas. But life hadn't been easy for Gloria. She grew up in a small town not far from where Lincoln High School was located. As a young girl, she was very bright and curious. She loved school and often surprised her teachers with how quickly she understood difficult subjects, especially math. She earned top grades and won awards, and everyone believed she had a bright future ahead of her. After high school, Gloria earned a scholarship to attend a historically black college, where she continued to study mathematics. She was one of the best students in her class and was even invited to join special math clubs and competitions. However, things changed when her family faced a terrible tragedy. Gloria's mother became very ill, and Gloria had to return home to take care of her. With no money and few opportunities, she had to put her dreams on hold. She started working odd jobs to support her family and eventually took the janitor job at Lincoln High School to make a steady income. Over the years, her math books were packed away in boxes, and her studies stopped. But even though her life had changed direction, Gloria never stopped loving math. She kept a small, worn notebook in her pocket at all times. In it, she wrote down math problems and solutions she found interesting, practicing quietly whenever she had a few free moments. At school, most people didn't realize this hidden side of Gloria. To them, she was just the janitor who cleaned the floors and emptied the trash. Students sometimes joked about her, calling her invisible, because she moved around without drawing attention. Some teachers barely noticed her, except when they needed a classroom cleaned quickly. Even the students who talked to her did so only casually, never expecting to find someone so intelligent and knowledgeable behind the uniform. Despite this, Gloria watched and listened carefully. She had a habit of stopping near classroom doors when she heard the sound of students working on math problems. She would quietly watch the blackboard or listen to the teacher explaining a difficult concept, sometimes smiling to herself as she recognized the math. Many times she thought about raising her hand and sharing her own solutions or ideas, but she never did. She was afraid of what people might think or say if they found out she was more than just a janitor. Sometimes when the hallways were empty and the classrooms were quiet, Gloria would sit at a desk and take out her small notebook. She would solve complex math problems and write notes in neat handwriting. Math was like a secret world where she felt safe and happy. It gave her hope and a sense of purpose, even when the outside world ignored her talents. She believed that, one day maybe, someone would discover what she truly was capable of. Gloria's story shows how sometimes people hide their true selves because of fear, circumstances, or the way society sees them. Even when someone is very smart and talented, life can be hard, and not everyone gets the chance to shine. At Lincoln High School, the janitor was invisible to most, but inside her heart was a math genius waiting for the right moment to be seen. That moment was still far away, but Gloria stayed patient and hopeful. She continued her work, smiling quietly to herself as she cleaned the hallways, always carrying her little notebook and the secret passion that no one knew about. The students passed by, unaware that one of the most brilliant minds in the building was right there with them, sweeping the floors and quietly changing the world, one math problem at a time. One day at Lincoln High School, a new substitute teacher arrived. His name was Mr. Hayes, and he was young, energetic, and a little nervous. Mr. Hayes was assigned to teach calculus, a subject known to be challenging even for the brightest students. The class he was teaching was filled with juniors and seniors, many of whom found calculus confusing and difficult to understand. Mr. Hayes was trying his best to explain the material, but today he faced a problem that even he couldn't solve. Right away, the problem was written on the board, and it was complicated. It involved several steps, each requiring careful thought and understanding of complex mathematical concepts. Mr. Hayes scratched his head, looked at the students, and realized that no one was raising their hand to answer. The students seemed puzzled and unsure. The teacher wanted to lighten the mood and make the class feel less tense. So he did something unexpected. He turned toward the door where Gloria was quietly sweeping the floor just outside the classroom. She was moving her mop slowly and carefully, humming a soft tune under her breath. Mr. Hayes called out to her, "Hey, Miss Gloria, think you can solve this one?" The students laughed. They thought it was a joke. After all, Gloria was the janitor. Why would she know calculus? Gloria paused. She looked up, surprised that the teacher had spoken to her in front of the whole class. She wiped her hands on her uniform, slowly walked over to the blackboard, and studied the problem silently. The room fell quiet. Everyone's eyes were on her now. No one expected her to say anything or do anything. But Gloria didn't say a word. Instead, she took a piece of chalk from the teacher's hand and began writing on the board. The way Gloria worked was calm and confident. She moved the chalk smoothly across the blackboard, writing each step clearly and carefully. Her handwriting was neat, and her logic was easy to follow. One step led naturally to the next, and the problem started to come together like a puzzle, falling into place. The students watched in amazement. Even Mr. Hayes looked surprised. When Gloria finished, she didn't just stop there. She added an extra note, explaining an alternate way to solve the problem. This method was clever and elegant. It showed a deeper understanding of the mathematics behind the question, something that even the substitute teacher had never seen before. The classroom was silent. No one said a word at first. Then, slowly, the students began to clap. Mr. Hayes stood there, stunned and speechless. He looked at Gloria, really looked at her for the first time. Until now, he had only seen her as the janitor, someone who cleaned the floors and emptied the trash cans. But now he saw something completely different. He saw intelligence, skill, and a natural gift for math. The students began to whisper to each other, "Did she really just solve that? How does she know calculus?" Some of the older students who had struggled with the problem for weeks were amazed that Gloria had done it so quickly and accurately. Others looked at her with new respect. For the first time, Gloria wasn't invisible. Mr. Hayes finally found his voice and said, "Miss Gloria, that was incredible. Where did you learn all this? Gloria smiled softly but didn't answer immediately. She felt a little shy but also proud. She knew that this moment was special, that something had changed. After the class ended, the students left, still talking excitedly about what had happened. Gloria went back to her janitor's closet and pulled out her little worn notebook. She opened it and looked at the pages filled with math problems and solutions she had worked on quietly over the years. To her, math wasn't just numbers and equations. It was a language, a way to understand the world, and a source of joy. Mr. Hayes decided to talk to the principal about what he had witnessed. The principal was surprised but curious too. Nobody at the school had ever seen Gloria like this before. She was just the janitor after all. But now, the story of the janitor who solved a difficult calculus problem began to spread. As days passed, more people started noticing Gloria in a new light. Some teachers approached her, asking if she could help their students with math. Some students came to her after school, eager to learn from someone who clearly understood what they were struggling with. Gloria was happy to help, but she was still humble and quiet. The school community began to realize how much talent can be hidden beneath appearances. Gloria's story made many people think about their own judgments and biases. How often had they overlooked someone just because of their job or the way they looked? How many times had they missed an opportunity to learn from someone special? For Gloria, this was the beginning of a new chapter. She started to believe in herself again, to remember the dreams she had once held tightly. She continued to solve math problems, but now she also shared her knowledge with others. Her confidence grew, and with it, a new hope. At Lincoln High School, the joke that had started as a way to lighten a difficult class became a moment of revelation. Gloria, the quiet janitor, was not just cleaning floors, she was a math genius, and the school would never be the same again. After the moment that Gloria solved the difficult calculus problem in front of the whole class, things at Lincoln High School began to change in ways no one expected. The principal was the first to reach out to Gloria in a more personal way. One afternoon she called Gloria into her office, not to scold or question her, but because she was curious and wanted to understand more. Gloria felt nervous as she walked into the principal's room. She wasn't sure what to expect, but the principal greeted her warmly and invited her to sit down. Slowly, Gloria started to open up. She told the principal about her life, a story that had been hidden for many years. She explained that she had once been a bright student, passionate about math, and had attended college with big dreams. But life had thrown her challenges she wasn't prepared for. Her mother had fallen very ill, and Gloria had to come back home to take care of her family. Without money and support, her dreams of becoming a mathematician had been put on hold. She had taken the janitor job at Lincoln High to make a living, and though it wasn't what she wanted, she worked hard and kept her love for math alive quietly, inside. The principal listened carefully, moved by Gloria's story. She realized that Gloria's intelligence and dedication had never been properly recognized by the school community. It wasn't because Gloria wasn't capable, it was because nobody had looked closely enough or given her a chance to show what she could do. The principal promised to help Gloria find new opportunities to use her talents. Word about Gloria's math skills spread quickly among the teachers and students. Some teachers felt embarrassed that they had never noticed her abilities before. They apologized to her and started to include her more in school activities. Some even asked her to come into their classrooms and help students who were struggling with math problems. Gloria was shy at first, but soon grew more confident as she realized how much people respected her knowledge. Students began to see Gloria differently. No longer was she just the janitor who cleaned their classrooms. She was someone they could talk to about difficult homework questions, someone who understood their struggles and could help them find solutions. Many students were inspired by her story. They saw that even if life put obstacles in your way, it was possible to keep learning and grow. Gloria became a role model, especially for young black girls who saw in her a reflection of their own hopes and dreams. As the weeks went by, local newspapers heard about the story of the janitor who was secretly a math genius. Reporters came to the school to interview Gloria and share her story with the wider community. The headlines called her the math janitor and told how she had surprised everyone with her brilliant mind. Gloria's life, which had once been quiet and hidden, suddenly became public. Some people were inspired, while others were curious to know more about her past. A nearby college, hearing about Gloria's talents, reached out to offer her a special chance. They invited her to use their library and resources to continue studying mathematics. They even suggested that she could audit some classes for free, which meant she could attend and learn without having to pay tuition. This was a dream come true for Gloria. After so many years, she finally had a chance to return to the world of learning that she had missed. Gloria started visiting the college library regularly. She spent hours reading books and solving problems, sometimes late into the night. The joy she felt was like coming home. She made new friends among the students and professors who welcomed her warmly. They admired her passion and respected her for the knowledge she had carried with her despite all the hardships. Back at Lincoln High School, the story of Gloria began to change the culture. Teachers and students started to think differently about talent and intelligence. They realized that just because someone looks a certain way or works a particular job, it doesn't mean they don't have amazing skills or dreams. The school began to celebrate diversity not only in race and background, but also in the many forms that brilliance can take. Gloria's confidence grew with every passing day. She began to believe in herself again, something she hadn't done for a long time. She volunteered to help more with after-school math clubs and tutoring sessions. She encouraged students to never give up on their dreams, no matter what challenges they faced. Her story was a powerful lesson about perseverance and hidden potential. Yet, despite the new attention and opportunities, Gloria remained humble. She never wanted to be seen as someone special or different. For her, math was still a quiet joy, a way to connect with the world and express herself. She continued to carry her worn notebook everywhere, filling it with new problems and ideas. The school community started to hold special events to honor Gloria. They invited her to speak at assemblies and to share her story with the students. Her words were simple but full of meaning. She told them about the importance of believing in themselves, working hard, and never letting anyone else define their worth. As Gloria's life began to change, so did the attitudes of many people around her. Teachers who had once overlooked her started paying closer attention to students who seemed quiet or different. They asked themselves whether they were missing other hidden talents in their classrooms. Students began to support each other more, understanding that everyone has their own strengths and struggles. Gloria's story was not just about math or a janitor's secret talent. It was about how society often judges people too quickly, and how those judgments can hide true gifts. It was about hope, courage, and the power of second chances. Though Gloria still faced challenges, she had to balance work, study, and personal life. She never lost sight of her dreams. With support from the school, the community, and the college, she made plans for her future. She wanted to complete her degree, to teach, and to help others discover their own hidden talents. The journey was not easy, but Gloria was determined. She proved that it is never too late to follow your passion. Her life became a symbol of resilience and brilliance that shines quietly, waiting to be discovered. Lincoln High School would always remember the janitor who solved a calculus problem as a joke, but turned out to be a math genius. And Gloria Richardson would always remember that moment as the beginning of a new chapter, one filled with hope, respect, and endless possibilities. After Gloria's secret began to spread throughout Lincoln High School and the local community, the atmosphere started to shift in many surprising ways. What was once a quiet and almost invisible part of the school's daily life became a source of inspiration, curiosity, and reflection for everyone. Gloria's story, the janitor who was also a math genius, captured hearts and minds far beyond what anyone could have imagined. At first, Some people in the school felt uncomfortable. They realized how much they had overlooked Gloria all these years. Many teachers and staff thought about the times they passed her in the hallways without a second glance, or dismissed her as just the janitor. Now, knowing her true story made them feel ashamed. How could they have been so blind? How could they have missed the brilliance hiding right in front of them? These feelings of guilt were mixed with admiration. Teachers began approaching Gloria with respect, asking her for help with lesson plans or seeking her advice on teaching difficult math concepts. Some even invited her to sit in on their classes as a guest lecturer. For Gloria, this was a new experience. She was no longer just cleaning the floors. She was becoming a respected member of the educational community. Students, too, changed the way they saw Gloria. Some who had once ignored or joked about her now sought her out for help with homework or to understand complicated math problems. She became a quiet mentor to many, especially those who struggled with math and felt discouraged. Her calm and patient way of explaining difficult concepts made her popular among students. They admired her not only for her knowledge, but also for her kindness and humility. The story of Gloria spread beyond the school walls. Local newspapers and TV stations picked up the story and shared it with the wider community. Headlines celebrated her as the math janitor and hidden genius of Lincoln High. People were fascinated by the idea that such intelligence and passion could be hidden in a place no one expected. Gloria became a symbol of hope, showing that talent and brilliance could come from anyone, regardless of their job, race, or background. The community rallied around Gloria. A group of local volunteers and educators formed a support network to help her continue her education. They organized fundraising events to cover costs for books and tuition, and many people offered to tutor her or give her access to resources. This outpouring of support made Gloria feel valued and appreciated in a way she had never experienced before. Nearby, colleges and universities reached out to offer her opportunities. One college invited her to attend classes for free and gave her special access to their libraries and research centers. Gloria was thrilled but also nervous. Going back to school after so many years was intimidating. She worried if she could keep up with younger students or if she still remembered enough math. But with encouragement from her new friends and supporters, she decided to take the chance. Her first days at the college were both exciting and challenging. The environment was very different from her janitor job. She sat in classrooms filled with young students, many of whom were surprised and curious about her presence. Some whispered among themselves, wondering why a janitor was in their math class. But Gloria ignored the whispers and focused on learning. She studied hard, attended extra tutoring sessions, and slowly regained the confidence she had lost over the years. Back at Lincoln High, Gloria's story inspired the school to make changes. The administration started programs aimed at recognizing hidden talents among students and staff. Teachers began paying more attention to students who were quiet or struggled in class, understanding that every person learns differently and has unique gifts. The school held workshops on diversity and inclusion, helping everyone appreciate the value of different backgrounds and experiences. Parents and community members also took notice. Many started encouraging their children to look beyond stereotypes and to value hard work and intelligence in all forms. Gloria's story was shared at community centers, churches, and local events, reminding everyone that greatness can be found in unexpected places. For Gloria, the change was deeply personal. She felt a new sense of belonging and purpose. No longer invisible, she was now a vital part of the school and community. She continued to work as a janitor, but her role had expanded. She helped teachers with lesson planning, tutored students, and spoke at events about perseverance and believing in oneself. Despite the new attention and responsibilities, Gloria stayed humble. She never wanted to be seen as a hero or celebrity. To her, math was still a quiet joy, a puzzle to solve, a language to speak. She continued to carry her little notebook everywhere, filling it with problems and solutions. Her love for learning had been reignited, and nothing could dim her passion. Her story also helped change attitudes about race and class. People began to question the unfair assumptions they had made about Gloria and others like her. They saw that intelligence and potential were not limited by skin color or social status. Gloria became a symbol of what can happen when society stops judging people by appearances and starts recognizing their true abilities. As the months went by, Gloria's influence grew. She was invited to speak at school assemblies and local events, where she shared her journey. She encouraged students to never give up on their dreams, no matter how hard life gets. Her message was simple but powerful. Everyone has hidden strengths, and it's important to keep believing in yourself. Her story also inspired other schools in the area to look more closely at their own staff and students. Many started programs to identify and support hidden talents, especially among marginalized groups. Gloria's experience became a case study in how communities can change when they value every individual. Though life was not always easy, Gloria faced challenges with courage. Balancing her job, studies, and growing public role was demanding. There were days when she felt tired or doubted herself, but the support from the school, community, and new friends kept her going. She knew she was no longer alone. Gloria's journey showed the power of second chances. Even after years of hardship and invisibility, she found a way back to her dreams. Her story was a reminder that it is never too late to learn, to grow, or to be seen for who you really are. Lincoln High School would never forget the janitor who surprised everyone with her math genius, and Gloria Richardson would never forget the moment when a simple joke changed her life forever, opening doors she had thought were closed. Her quiet strength and brilliance became a beacon of hope, teaching everyone that true talent can shine through any circumstance, and that sometimes the greatest surprises are found where you least expect them. After months of hard work, dedication, and the support of her community, Gloria's life was slowly but surely transforming. The journey from being the unnoticed janitor to becoming a respected math mentor and student was not easy, but Gloria embraced every challenge with quiet strength and determination. Her passion for learning and helping others grew stronger each day. As the school year went on, Gloria continued to juggle her job and her studies at the nearby college. Every morning, she woke up early to finish her cleaning duties at Lincoln High. She took pride in her work, knowing that she was contributing to the school community in many ways. But after her janitor shift ended, she didn't go home to rest. Instead, she grabbed her books and headed to the college library to study. At the library, Gloria would spend hours poring over calculus textbooks, practicing problems, and reading about new mathematical theories. Though she had learned much before, returning to formal study was a fresh challenge. Some concepts had changed or become more advanced, and at times Gloria felt overwhelmed. But she never gave up. She reminded herself of her dream to become a mathematician and a teacher, and that kept her motivated. Gloria's dedication did not go unnoticed. Professors at the college admired her work ethic and her curiosity. One professor, Dr. Mitchell, took a special interest in Gloria. He had heard about her story from the school and was eager to support her journey. He invited her to join a special research group focused on applied mathematics, where she could work alongside other students on real-world math problems. Working in the research group was exciting and challenging. Gloria met young students who were full of ideas and energy. Though she was older than most of them, they welcomed her warmly. Gloria shared her own experiences and insights, and they learned from each other. This environment helped Gloria grow not just academically, but personally. Back at Lincoln High, Gloria's role continued to expand. The school started a special after-school math club for students who struggled with the subject. Gloria volunteered to be the mentor and tutor for this club. Every afternoon, students gathered in a small classroom, eager to learn from her. Gloria was patient and encouraging. She used simple explanations and creative examples to make complex math concepts understandable. The Students loved Gloria's teaching style. Many of them had been discouraged by previous experiences with math, thinking it was too hard or boring. But Gloria showed them that math could be fun, and that anyone could learn it with practice and the right guidance. She helped students build confidence and gave them tools to succeed not only in math, but in other areas of their lives. Word about the math club spread quickly, and more students joined. Parents were thankful to Gloria for helping their children improve their grades and change their attitude toward school. Teachers also noticed improvements in students' performance and behavior. The school's overall math scores began to rise, and everyone credited Gloria's positive influence. Gloria's story continued to inspire the community. Local newspapers published follow-up articles highlighting her achievements and the impact she was having on young minds. Invitations came for Gloria to speak at educational conferences and community events. Though public speaking made her nervous, she accepted these invitations because she wanted to encourage others to believe in themselves. During one of these events, Gloria met representatives from a foundation dedicated to supporting education for underprivileged adults. They were impressed by her determination and offered her a scholarship to complete her degree in mathematics. This was a turning point for Gloria. With financial support and encouragement, she could now focus more fully on her studies without worrying about money. Gloria's scholarship also allowed her to take specialized courses in teaching and education. She dreamed of becoming a math teacher in a public school, someone who could inspire students just as she had been inspired. She wanted to create a learning environment where every student felt valued and capable. As she prepared for her future career, Gloria reflected on her journey. She remembered the day Mr. Hayes jokingly asked her to solve the calculus problem. That moment had changed everything. What had started as a joke became the key that unlocked her potential and changed the way people saw her. Gloria also thought about the many people who had supported her along the way. The principal who believed in her, the teachers who encouraged her, the students who trusted her, and the community that lifted her up. She realized that no one achieves success alone. Support, kindness, and opportunities are essential. One afternoon during a school assembly, Gloria was invited to share her story with the entire student body. She spoke with humility and honesty, telling them about the struggles she had faced and the importance of never giving up. She encouraged the students to look beyond appearances and to value everyone's unique talents. Her message resonated deeply with the students. Many approached her afterward, thanking her for her words and sharing their own dreams and challenges. Gloria felt a deep sense of fulfillment. She was not just teaching math, she was helping shape lives. Over time, Gloria's story inspired changes beyond Lincoln High School. Other schools in the district began looking for hidden talents among their staff and students. Programs were created to provide tutoring and mentoring opportunities, especially for those who faced barriers. Gloria's journey became a powerful example of how belief in oneself and support from others can open doors. Gloria herself continued to grow. She completed her degree with honors and earned her teaching certificate. She accepted a job as a math teacher at a local middle school. In her classroom, she worked hard to create a welcoming environment where every student felt encouraged to ask questions and explore math without fear. Her students loved her gentle approach and the way she made difficult topics clear and interesting. She shared stories from her own life to motivate them, showing that challenges could be overcome with determination. Gloria's classroom became a place of hope and learning. Outside of teaching, Gloria remained active in the community. She continued tutoring students, speaking at events, and advocating for adult education programs. Her story was featured in books, magazines, and even a documentary film about inspiring educators. Looking back, Gloria understood that her journey was about more than just math. It was about resilience, courage, and the power of second chances. She hoped her story would inspire others to believe in their potential, no matter what obstacles they face. Her life had come full circle. from the janitor who cleaned classrooms unnoticed to the teacher who inspired young minds. Gloria Richardson's journey was a testament to the idea that true genius is not just about talent, but about heart, perseverance, and the willingness to keep learning. In the end, Gloria's story taught everyone a valuable lesson. Never judge a book by its cover. Hidden inside each person is the power to shine, sometimes in ways the world least expects. Gloria's brilliance, once hidden in the shadows, now lit the path for many others to follow.